I'm not altogether sure the world is ready for this. Yesterday we took delivery of this Taurus Ergo air bike. I hope you can hear me over the fan. It's gym equipment, proper gym equipment, and it works on a fan system, not electricity or anything. So the harder you work it, the more calories it burns, the more good it does you. And we've progressed to this after having an exercise bike, a big exercise bike for years. We wanted something that was more of a full body workout because what have I got to lose except weight? And if I can gain a bit of health and tone myself up a bit in the meantime, then maybe this is the way forward. I watched Joe demonstrate it this morning. He did 33 minutes at full pelt, which is way harder than I'm working in. I'm going to set a bit of a question here. Would you like to have a go at guessing how many calories Joe burned in 33 minutes? Put it in the comments below and there'll be a £10 voucher from Amazon for whoever gets the closest. This is good, I like it. I can already feel myself starting to get a wee bit breathless. It's certainly easier to walk up hills than it is to ride this, but it's my intention to do 5 minutes a day and build it up over a period and get to be a bit fitter. So if anybody sees me walking up hills tomorrow and I'm just about on my knees, that's why. So yeah, it's called a Taurus Ergo air bike, and they're available through most really good sports retailers. A bit on the expensive side, but we see it as an investment and we're really glad that we clubbed together and got it. So yeah, after this clip I want Joe to insert a picture of a gift bag he did for me this week. My good friend Liz turned 40 on Friday, and because Joe is trained in art and design, I asked him to do me a gift bag for a freehand, and he was so chuffed with the results, and I was so chuffed that he did it for her that I asked him if he'd take a photograph to insert it on the channel. No tracing, no rulers, no stencils, all done freehand. So I'll let you have a look at that. When I finish pedalling, get off the bike and move to the kitchen. Just give me a couple of seconds, Joe, I'm really going to go for it. You can hear the air pressure go up. Turn it off, Joe. I'm back via my bedroom in a quick change out of Joe's old sports gear and into my own clothes. Right, it's Sunday, the 22nd of November today. What did you think of his artwork? He hates to be praised for his artwork, but I'm told it's really good, so I'm now going to get him to work on some Christmas bags for me. Right, we'll start with my results this week. No excuses. No trying to dodge the bullet, but I gained £1.5 pounds. I'm really comfortable with that. So I weighed in on Friday. I mean, this was my weight on Friday, not this morning. I don't know. This morning's weight's not relevant, but on Friday I was up £1.5 pounds, and that's the weight that goes into Slimming World via my group. So on Friday I weighed in at 7 AM, 9 stone, 6.5 pounds, and I feel fine about that. I've had a really kind of emotional week for absolutely no reason. All about me, which sounds very selfish. Yeah, I was crying one day in the kitchen and Joe's like, why are you crying? And I don't really know. And I think sometimes, you know, it's the time of year. It's coming up to Christmas, and I've shared many times I don't like Christmas. It brings up all sorts of childhood stuff in me, which is totally irrelevant and 60 years of in the past. But it's been that kind of week, and I don't think the dark days are helping me, and I think I do get a bit of seasonal affectiveness disorder or whatever, so making sure to take my vitamin D and get on with my life and like get busy, Jane, because when you're busy you don't have too much time. Is that the camera?
No, I think it was the bike.
Alright. When you're busy you don't have too much time to think, and I prefer to be in that state. I prefer to be in a state of busyness. Right, little bits from the week, that's what I'm going to share today. Firstly, I was horrified, and I don't use that word lightly, I was horrified on Monday when I went on the Amazon deals of the day to see the top deal on the list they gave me via my Alexa was XLS fat burning tablets. I think they were down to about 30 quid for 180 tablets, and that worries me. You know, when I was at my biggest, and something I was going to say when I was on the bike and I completely forgot, that bike weighs about 11 stone. It took 2 big men to carry it in yesterday. I weigh just over 9, between 9 and 9.5 usually. So put the bike together with me, and that's still 1.5 stone less than I used to weigh. That puts it in, like, makes a reality of it for me, puts it in proportion. You know how far I've come. Because I'm thinking, flipping heck, you know, it took 2 big guys to carry that bike in. It would have took those 2 big guys to carry me out in the old days, feet first. Not a nice prospect. That, for me, because I don't see, I need those kind of reality checks. And sitting there on that bike, pedalling it this morning, thinking, gosh, I was 1.5 stone heavier than me and that bike combined at one time. Anyway, back to these tablets. XLS fat burning tablets. I'm not giving you the name so you can go Google them. I'm not giving you the name because I want to encourage you to buy them. I'm giving you the name because I am horrified that companies, and I'm not picking on Amazon because I'm sure they're not the only one that do it, that companies can sell crap, and I don't use that word lightly either, like this to vulnerable people. Because I believe when I was 22 stone, or working my way up towards 22 stone, I was a very vulnerable person. I'm a strong woman, I'm decisive, but in that state, battling with food 24/7, I was a vulnerable person. And to think that back in the day, I could have believed in rubbish like that. I mean, I was one of those who went to the doctor, got prescribed Orlistat. My God, that made me ill. Because you weren't supposed to eat fat when you took Orlistat, but hey, not me. I'm a snowflake, I can do what I like. I paid for it. So what I want to say is, anybody out there who is vulnerable like I was, and like I still am to a certain degree, don't be conned by these things. The only thing we have to lose is weight, and the only way we're ever going to lose it is by monitoring what we put in our mouths. There are no magic solutions. You can't go to the butcher's and ask him to slice a bit off on his bacon slicer. You can't go to bed, pray and wake up thin. I've tried that one. You can't do anything other than take a journey, for want of a better word, into a life where you change your habits. I've learned that the hard way. I've tried every other which way. And this journey business, you know, even that, you know, I have to stop myself looking forward and looking back and focus on what I'm doing today, because today's all I've got. When I did a video a while ago, I think it was called The Tortoise and the Hare, and I was talking about the fact that this time on my weight loss journey, God knows how many times I was into doing it, 20, 30, 40, this time I was going to be the tortoise and not the hare. I was going to take it steady, because I'd finally learned that the slower I lost the weight, the more I was determined to change some of my habits. And I don't change, you know, I don't find it easy, but the more I did some of that, the steadier the weight came off, and it stayed off. So this is a mug. Can you hold it like Joe a bit? Yeah. And what does, I've forgotten what it says.
It says, I work hard so my tortoise can live a better life.
This is to remind me, I am, in effect, feeding the tortoise, that's me. And I'm working hard every day. Not that it seems like hard work, it's not like having a job as a doctor, a nurse, a dustbin man, or a whatever. It's not hard work as in some people's jobs are tremendously hard work. Managing a big family or a small family for that matter can be hard work. Choosing what you eat and how you exercise on a daily basis can be really enjoyable if you approach it that way. So I work hard so my tortoise can live a better life. And my tortoise is living a better life today. Just today, this Sunday of November, my tortoise is living a better life. I think we bought that via Amazon, did we?
Yeah.
Just put in tortoise mug, you might find it if you're interested. Something I love is a nice apple. I've shared this recently. But what I don't like is eating an apple off a core in my hand. I just don't enjoy it that way. So I like my apples cut up. So generally Joe would slice an apple in half, take the core out, slice my apple up. I am so spoilt, honestly I am. But the other day, Joe came in and he gave me this apple. Not this apple, another apple. And the apple, to all intents and purposes, full apple. But he'd seen something on, was it Google or a website?
It was just a website, just like a
simple
article website. Yeah.
How to cut an core an apple. So the apple comes in half. You cut the apple in half first of all, and then you'll see each half is coreless. So we already had an apple corer. Ours is not so good grip one. So you cut your apple in half first, and then going down from the cut side, you just take the core out. It comes out like two little bullets. Now you might be screaming at the screen, oh you daft mare. We already shove one of those down for the top of our apple. Well, I'd do that sometimes, but then I'd miss the bottom of the core because the cores aren't always straight, or the apple doesn't sit up straight. And I know I am a bit of a one for details, and I am a bit of a perfectionist, but oh my God, that to me is the simplest way of coring an apple, still having something to hold in my hand and crunch on, and enjoying it, and minimum waste. Because my thing was, I never liked to get very close to the core, so I could throw like a third of the apple away. But I just wanted to share that with you before I eat that apple. Put it back in its bowl. And the last thing I have to bring to you today is the bread I'm currently eating. Now, this is not a healthy extra B choice. I want to make that really clear. This is sprouted seed bread. You'll often hear it mentioned on the American channels. I'm not sure how readily available it is in any of our supermarkets. If you see it in any of the supermarkets like Sainsbury's, Waitrose, Ocado, any of the, I was going to say higher market ones, but you know what I mean, they tend to stock the more unusual things. I shop in Asda most of the time, they don't sell anything like this. I know in the American supermarkets it's often in the frozen section. But this is Ezekiel bread. Are you close in on it?
Oh, I can do, if you want. Yeah.
One's Ezekiel bread and one's Genesis bread, and they actually both are spoken about in verses in the Bible, like Ezekiel 40 verse 7, 40 verse 9.
4:9.
So it might be Ezekiel 4 verse 9 then. But it tells you in there about making bread from seeds and lentils and things. So it actually comes from the Bible originally. I don't eat this bread because I'm religious. I eat this bread because I like it. What's the name of the company you buy it from, Joe?
Food for Life.
Food for Life on the internet. Now, I'm not going to say rush out and buy some because I don't want to be encouraging you to spend too much money. It is expensive. We buy it like half a dozen loaves at a time, so we only have to pay one lot of postage, because if you bought one loaf plus the postage, you're looking at nearly 10 quid. So we buy half a dozen loaves and then you pay the same postage. And it comes really, really chilled and it freezes beautifully. But it is just the most filling and enjoyable bread I've ever had. I mean, it makes a delicious banana sandwich, but it also toasts really well. The Ezekiel is 80 calories for a slice, so 4 sins. The Genesis is 90 calories for a slice, so 4.5 sins. As I say, it's not a B choice, and sometimes I have to look outside of the A and B's and use my A and B's for my porridge and some milk of some sort or whatever, because a plant-based life doesn't fit easily 100% into the plan. But I would rather sin this than have I don't know, some soft, mushy wholemeal bread or whatever. We all find what we like best, don't we? I mean, some people are Hovis fans, some people would go for Warburton's. You find what you like, what suits you. And I was fortunate in that one of Joe's friends bought me some of this for my birthday, so I got to try it because we'd looked everywhere and couldn't find it, but it actually suits my taste. I like a dense bread. So I think, you know, I'd be a sourdough girl, or I'd be svelte. I always say it wrong, don't I? I'd be one of those type of people. I like heavier bread. I like the German pumpernickel and stuff like that. But again, I'd have to sin that. So yeah, just wanted to show you that, to show you what I'm eating today. I've had a decent week food-wise. I'm eating lots of lentils at the moment. I seem to have discovered a passion for lentils. So black lentils, red lentils. I'm going to try green ones tomorrow. But really, really enjoying that kind of food. It's so comforting. I want to have a go at making like a lentil cottage pie this week and top it with, I might do green lentils, top it with sweet potato. Just something different. It's the kind of weather, I mean, we've had so many dark, wet, miserable days this week, but it's the kind of weather where I need to find comfort in my food, because otherwise I just want to go to bed where it's warm and cosy. Yeah, that's me. So it's been an okay week. I'm getting over myself, and I'm looking forward to using the new exercise equipment. It could be the making of me. It could kill me, but hey ho. Don't forget, if you want to have a go at guessing how many calories Joe burned, and he was going like as if he was in a spin class, I mean full pelt, how many calories he actually burned in 33 minutes. And the person who gets spot on, or the closest, will get a £10 Amazon voucher by email. Okay, we'll see you next time. Cheers.